Hey y'all, day 2 of chemo for this bout. It was easier before when my chemos were 21 days apart. Having them back to back is like, wow. Last night was kind of rough. Stomach was all messed up and Charlie was pissed at me. But do what we gotta do to get ready for this CAR T treatment. And I went home yesterday after chemo, and even though I felt woozy and a little off, I still I went to the store and I insisted on making brownies. So I know that I am nervous baking, so to speak. They told me yesterday after I spoke to you guys that one of the possible side effects of the CAR T is losing the ability to speak. Now, for every day that I'm in the hospital and I'm conscious and consciously aware, I will record. And I hope that even when I am not as consciously aware and my cognitive ability is not what it should be, I hope I'll remember to record, because those are the moments that I would like to see myself, because I'm told that I won't remember any of it. I won't remember the disorientation. If I lose the ability to speak, I may not remember that. It depends. So it's a lot to take in. Pardon the noise. It's a lot to take in, and I was talking with my hubby about it last night because I'm worried. Like, that's a big deal. Um, I'm somebody that is used to being in control all the time. I've never had a drunk night where I blacked out. I never had a moment where I didn't remember what happened before. So to know that the disorientation will be that severe is nerve-wracking for me. Because I'm somebody that likes to always be in control. Even today, I brought work with me to chemo, and I was getting a good amount of work done until, excuse me, until I had to charge the tablet up. But this is rough. Feeling very sluggish. Feeling kind of like my brain is, or mud brain as I used to call it when I had the heart medicine. I had the half line, not a full pick line, but I had a half line for the heart medicine, and I used to feel like mud brain a lot then. But also after chemo, and thankfully, it's not the full chemo that I was getting before. It's not as harsh, but it's certainly, chemo is chemo. It's poison in your body, and it's not comfortable. Last night I was dealing a lot with what I like to call the poison bloat. And if you've ever had chemo, you know what that is. You just, all of the chemo meds are just kind of floating around in your stomach there, and it's just a sickening kind of feeling. So this is day 2 of 3 for chemo, and it's definitely a harder day. It's an uglier day. And it feels a lot like I'm fighting through. But I kind of also would like to make some empanadas later. Like, I know hubby won't want me to. It's just been really rough. It feels like my tumors are aggravated because of the chemo. The tumors are upset at the chemo that happens. Um, but it's you got to be a warrior. And like I said, be brave. So I mean, I still, cutesy, sort of. I even took time to put a little bit of mascara on and a light shadow, but I didn't have time to do a whole lot, and I didn't have energy to do a whole lot, but I wanted to at least get up and get myself prepared for the day because, I knew that I wanted to take care of some business too. I was talking with some people and in the cancer group, and one of the things that I was talking about with them is allowing cancer to steal your sex life, to steal your sexuality, your sensuality. And it doesn't have to. Unless you allow it to, it kind of can't, unless you have no clitoris or no penis. As long as you have those items, you can have fulfilling sex. So definitely want to get into tips and such like that for that when I get a sec. But, on the short, if you're missing sex or you're longing for it, that in itself is a sexual feeling. Don't be afraid to explore it, whether with your partner or alone. If you can get off alone but not with your partner, then you should discuss with your partner what it is that you need um, to help get you there. Because, with this, you're going to need extra attention, and hopefully they understand that. And if not, then they're just very selfish lover, and you should maybe look for another. But don't let it steal you. Even though right now I have mud brain, and even though I don't feel great or whatever, it still makes me smile a little to know that I might look a hot wreck right now, but I'm still one of the, still probably the cutest cancer patient in here. And maybe that's wrong, but excuse me. But this is definitely a rough one. Not nearly as much energy today as I had yesterday. And I could not have coffee this morning. So I had some tea and crackers and a Fiber One bar. Have not been able to poo. It's there and it's stuck. And chemo actually does make that worse. So what I'm going to have to do is end up getting a laxative today. And I find that the second day after chemo, you should take a laxative. My husband and I figured that out early on, because otherwise on the third day, you will be in severe pain. You will be in severe pain, and it will come out both ends. You will be throwing up and pooping your brains out. So, quick tip there, be sure to keep a laxative. Even if you take stool softeners, keep some Phillips milk of magnesia on hand. It is the gentlest thing. It's good for, cancer patients. And, other than that, remember to keep eating your apples and pears to keep your stomach settled. Now, as for the rest of the day, I do want to try to get a little more work done when the tablet charges up. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get some rest because I'm really out of it. But I do love my mask, and I feel adorable. I'm loving my glam bag and playing with all the stuff in there. It really does lift my spirits. It makes me feel good. I even got a new coloring book and crayons yesterday, the big box with the sharpener and everything. Just because, why not? Cancer is hard to deal with, and life is hard to deal with. Why not let my child self out for a little while and just let go of the cares and the worries for a little bit, Sometimes you have to take that moment to breathe. You can't spend every moment stressed out because that's only going to make your illness worse. So whatever your favorite thing is to do, whether it's walking or drawing or coloring or baking or whatever it is, do it. Or playing with makeup like me. Um, do it. Write poetry. Um, but play a video game. Whatever it is that will take you away from the stress of fighting this illness, you're allowed to do that. You don't have to speak about it every, 24 hours a day. You don't have to let it steal your livelihood, just like you don't have to allow it to take your sex life. So, just some tips there. And if y'all got any tips for helping me get some energy back, feel free to share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. All right? I'll see y'all later.